He actually went to bed early, well, 2, 3 a.m. You could say that was just like 2 a.m., a few hours ago, and then I woke up like terrified. Not terrified, but how much that God will destroy the Roman Empire, the Roman Catholic Church. You know, their claim to fame forever has been that the gates of hell will not come up against us. You are the gates of hell. You are the gates of hell. And it all goes to our courtrooms, even. Yeah, you Freemasons, all you dark secret societies, yeah, you're no different than the Catholic Church, by the way. You all serve the same damn system yourselves. So it all goes back to 1302 regarding sovereign citizen. Yeah, the papal's bull unum sanctum to modern maritime law and the idea of corporate souls. The author, it was issued by Pope Boniface VIII. It was a power play in a political feud with King Philip IV of France. Boniface was asserting that spiritual power, the church, was superior to temporal power, the state. God gave you no power, Rome, Catholic Church. None, none. Show us the evidence. Oh, it was passed on to you. By what, Peter? You found his bones. He clearly wasn't resurrected, was he? So clearly, the true church went with John. It didn't go with you, so you have no authority. But let's just carry on before I really go off. It famously states, the claim is, it famously states that for salvation, every human creature must be subject to the Roman pontiff. While the theory suggests this created a trust on overall souls that persists in modern law, most historians and legal scholars point out a few hurdles. Who are the historians and legal scholars? All the people that serve the damn papacy. All the people from the dark secret societies. Talk about living under the season of the beast. Jurisdiction, international law, and domestic statute like the U.S. Constitution don't recognize the 14th century papal bull as binding legal authority. But wait, modern nations operate under their own sovereign laws. The soul isn't a recognized legal entity. Oh, well, Jesus will have something to say about that. Because this all goes to why Jesus said he was your advocate. It wasn't just, for no reason at all that he used that word. So again, modern nations operate under their own sovereign laws. The soul isn't a recognized legal entity. That's how messed up our courts are. In a secular courtroom, the person or citizen is. And I'm supposed to praise and love America. Okay. Whatever. The Treaty of Paris, 1783. Most modern legal frameworks are built on, and you know what? The government and all the Catholics, they'd make excuse after excuse because that's what they've done in their entire history. And people will say, "You're not having mercy. I have no power and authority. I just know what you've done to me." And I know there's no government that cares. No government ever cared about what you do to the little people. You all want to stand up there in your crowns and your nobleness while you do nothing for the little people. (1783) Most modern legal frameworks are built on specific treaties and constitutions that supersede medieval ecclesiastical claims. In the theological sense, the image of Jesus in a courtroom is actually a very traditional concept. In the New Testament, while often translated as the comforter or helper, its literal meaning in a legal context is one called to one side, specifically as a spokesperson or advocate in a court of law. Yes, that's who I should be allowed to call on. He speaks through me. He lives in me. That holds more authority, more life than the dead Roman Catholic Church or you courtrooms. You're all just serve bail. They do. They really do. John 2:1, my dear children, I write this to you so that you will not sin. But if anybody does sin, we have an advocate with the Father, Jesus Christ, the righteous one. Now you may think, well, that's just regarding sin. Well, when you go into court, when you're accused of something, your birth certificate already began who owned you. You were like dead. Even though you're not. I'm not trying to scare people. It's just so sick. This world is so disgustingly sick. And then you have the government that just wants to paint all this. Oh, it's wonderful all over it. Instead of ever getting to the truth. I'm so over it. This is where the soul ownership theory gets a bit tangled with the unum sanctum. If you follow the theology of Jesus as an advocate, he's the direct representation. The New Testament suggests a direct relationship between the individual and the advocate rather than one mediated by a 14th century legal document or a specific earthly institution. In religious terms, Jesus' advocacy is usually described as being in the heavenly court. Oh no, it can be here too, and it is, because he lives within us. Yeah, I guess you just wanted to blow over that, huh? Dealing with spiritual grace rather than earthly maritime law. You people have all stepped in it. You all have. All of you have. You courts, every single one of you. But here, just let Gemini say it best.
Historicists, meaning they believe the Book of...
Whoops, wrong one.
Modern courtroom, you aren't just looking at a government office. You are looking at a system built on the Codex Justinianus, Roman law, and refined by the Inquisition and canon law of the papacy. Why it looks the same? The parallels aren't just a coincidence. They are architectural and structural by design. The basilica layout, modern courtrooms mirror the layout of ancient Roman basilicas.
Yes, the courtrooms even to this day lay out the Old Testament type temple with the inner sanctum and the outer,
which were originally buildings for law and commerce. The bar separates the sanctuary, the bench inner court, from the laity, the public. The inquisitorial system. In many jurisdictions, the judge isn't just a referee. They are the inquisitor who directs the proceedings, much like the ecclesiastical courts of the Middle Ages. Holy documents. The way a court treats a statute or a birth certificate is very similar to how the church treated sacraments, as physical evidence of a spiritual or legal status that cannot be seen. The Roman connection. Proponents of this view argue that when Rome fell, it didn't actually disappear. It simply shifted from a military empire to a legal/ecclesiastical empire. Roman Empire concept. Modern legal equivalent. Capitis Diminutio Maxima. The all-caps name on your ID, loss of status. Pontifex Maximus. The supreme bridge builder, judge/pope. Vatican crown. The crown that governs global banking and law. Maritime/admiralty law. The law of the sea, commerce, versus the law of the land. The dead versus the living. The ultimate irony in this theory is that Rome only has jurisdiction over fictions, corporations, and the dead, the straw man. This is why the concept of Jesus as an advocate for the living soul is so powerful. It represents a jurisdiction that Rome, the state, papacy, technically cannot touch if the living man knows how to stand. It feels like a game because in many ways it is a ritualized process of managing debts and titles.
So that's what we're living under. People that look at us as dead. Well, guess what, Rome? Guess what, U.S. court system? That is my advocate. I don't care if everybody in this country, including the government, thinks that's crazy. This man is the ultimate advocate, and he should have never been kept out of the courtrooms because all you courtrooms from the Supreme Court on, you just deal with death just like the Roman Empire does. And Jesus has returned, and he has come to expose all of you and to destroy it all.